Now we got. Haven't even turned the switch on the trailer, so there's no power going to it right now. So tricked you.
How's it going, guys? Dylan's Outdoor Garage. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 2 of a 4-part series of this Weekend Warrior toy hauler camp trailer. In part 1, if you haven't already checked that out, the links of that will be up in the info card and in the description down below. In part 1, we put the second coat of roof sealant on there to seal it up because there was a leak in the roof before we did the repairs on it, and I can successfully say that the leak is not leaking anymore. It's dry on the inside, so the repairs worked. But in today's video, we're going to be working on the refrigerator. The refrigerator, as I notated in part 1, that the refrigerator was not working, but the freezer was. So what I went ahead and I'm going to do is that we're going to replace the thermistor, which is a little sensor inside the refrigerator that basically helps regulate the temperature inside the refrigerator. If that doesn't fix the issue, then we're looking at replacing the cooling unit of the refrigerator. But unfortunately, the cooling unit on this refrigerator is discontinued. So the only thing to do is to replace it with a brand new fridge, which I really don't want to do because that's going to cost a lot more than I want to spend on this trailer. But hopefully we can cross our fingers that this part, the thermistor, is a simple replacement. So come with me, we'll jump over into the trailer and we'll get that installed and see if that will fix the issue.
All right, so to replace a thermistor for a Dometic RM2852 refrigerator. So the thermistor on this guy is in here behind the fridge on the outside. You can see I've already taken the cover off. This is basically the control board for the refrigerator and the freezer. Up here, right here is where the thermistor was plugged into, which is this connector right here. So it's the exact same connections. I've already taken this apart already when I was trying to diagnose it, and I came across that the thermistor, the ohms on here was really, really low, which should be anywhere between 5,000 to 9,000 kilo ohms, which is what the manufacturer states for this unit. This was reading way below that. So what we're going to do is that we're going to jump inside, we're going to remove it, and then feed it through the back side, and then come in here and plug in the new thermistor. So let's jump inside real quick. All right, so in the trailer, it's going to be, so this is for a Dometic dual electric and gas refrigerator and freezer. So my issue was that the freezer was working, but not the refrigerator. And usually that could be either a clogged coils on the backside of the refrigerator, the cooling unit, or it's going to be this guy right here, the thermistor, which is back here, which basically, whenever you slide this up and down, depends on how cold or how the cold or colder you want the refrigerator to be. So this is the slider where you slide it up and down, and the thermistor is located behind this piece right inside there. So see, it just fits right in there, and that is the thermistor. And usually these do go bad, and then that guy just goes in here, and we're just going to pop this off with the screwdriver, and then we're just going to feed this wire in through there and then replace it with the new thermistor. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop this guy off. And then try to feed that wire back through. And then we'll try to pull it from the back side and put this new one in. also have to mention it's very important to make sure that there's no power going through any electrical components that you're working on any type of equipment, trailer, ATV, lawnmower. Just make sure that the power is disconnected and turned off. Before I started messing with this, the power has been disconnected and the batteries have been disconnected from the terminals as well, so that there is no voltage going to the circuit board. So there's no chances of it shorting out and causing an electrical short or causing it to burn up while you're trying to connect things together. So it's always important to make sure that there's no power on any type of electronics and make sure to plug them back in before you do a test. All right, so I had to snip the wire off and tape the end of this because apparently it is way up there. So hopefully I can be able to pull it from the inside and get this wire through the fridge. So hopefully I could do this without removing the refrigerator out of the trailer because that is going to be a pain in the butt. So let's just set you up right here. And hopefully I can get it fed through. Okay, change of plans. We're going to be pulling the wire through here instead. Hey, look at it. We have it. Look at that. That was easy. Look at that. Got it through. So let's go plug it in the back side, and so I can be able to attach it to the fridge. All right, with thermistor fed through, we're gonna put this plug back in. Just like a little rubber grommet. And feed thermistor up. This is the drip tray. Put the thermistor. Slide it back on this. And then see the arrow, it's right there for basically how cold you want it. So we're gonna put it right there. And then we just gotta re-zip tie in those spots. Load this in like so. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to check to see, so whenever I connect these two leads together, you'll hear a beeping. So I'm just going to check these little glass fuses in here to make sure that there's nothing wrong with them. That fuse is good. And check this other one over here. That fuse is good too. So it's a good little simple trick. It's just a continuity test, basically. Whenever you connect these together, or whenever you connect any type of fuse together, I'm just saying that the circuit is complete. So it's always it's a nice thing to use whenever you're testing relays or testing fuses as well. So let's put this back together. And then I got my zip ties here. Screw this back on. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to put power to the trailer and come back in a couple hours. It might take up to 24 hours for the refrigerator to start working to get it down to the cold. So we'll check back here in a few hours and see if that thermistor was the issue. Take the adapter, plug it in, and now we've got... Just kidding. Haven't even turned the switch on the trailer, so there's no power going to it right now. So tricked you. Jump in here. And for me, since I have solar power running, so I need to take an added extra step, and I'm going to turn the kill switch off, which will kill the power to the solar panel so that whenever there's any sunlight beaming on the solar arrays and plugged into shore power or the generator's running, you don't overload one or the other circuits, even though there's a GFI switch right here that will pop if that happens. But to make sure that doesn't happen, that's why I added this kill switch. Hence why solar kill switch. So now you should be able to turn on all of the breakers. You should have power. Ta-da! And we're gonna go over here, refrigerator. So on this Dometic refrigerator, it's either dual gas or electric, and or so it'll just bounce between. So right now it says gas is up, so that's gas, but I don't have any propane tanks connected to it, so I'm pushing that in and make sure there's no gas on there. And right now the on, so it's on auto, and the gas is not pushed up, and there's power in here. And then make sure that the climate control switch is on. That's on. So I know that the freezer works. What I'm going to do is that I am going to put this refrigerator thermostat in the refrigerator and come back in a couple hours and see what the temperature is of there and see if the thermistor fixed the issue. If not, I was told by an RV mechanic that depending on how long the RV sat or the trailer sat, that there could be some blockage in the coils, and it can take up to 24 hours for it to kind of push that freon through those coils on the cooling unit and to be able to kind of break it up, and then it will start cooling. If that doesn't fix the issue, then it's going to be the cooling unit, which that cooling unit is discontinued for this refrigerator. And the only way to fix it is by replacing the fridge altogether, which to do that, it's going to cost a lot of money and a lot of time that I don't have for this trailer. So I want to try to get this trailer fixed and sold as fast as I can. So hopefully the thermistor was the issue. So let's check back in a couple hours. But with the power of video editing, you should get an update right now. Okay, so it's been about 2.5 hours. So right now I'm going to be taking a laser thermometer to check to see what the temperature is back behind the refrigerator to make sure that it's not getting too hot, so that we're not burning any components in the trailer. So it looks like it's not too bad. Oh, there's 82. Denser pipe. So we are actually getting warm on the refrigerator. So hopefully that is a good sign. So let's make sure that we don't have any wires that are hot. All right, so let's jump inside the trailer real quick and see what the temperature is on the thermostat. Okay. Moment of truth. 37.9 degrees. So let's double check the laser. 32. So we're doing pretty good. Check the freezer. -14. So freezer's working just fine. Well, I'm excited that was the issue. It was just simply that the thermistor was bad, and replacing it with a $10 part off of Amazon uh, fixed the issue right away. So I'm grateful that it was that, not the cooling unit, and or anything else wrong with the fridge. But I am gonna keep it running for another 22 hours, and then letting it kind of go through, because I don't know how long it's been since the refrigerator hasn't worked. We haven't used it since we got it last year, so I'm gonna let it run through and make sure that there's no blockage or anything in there, and then I'll keep checking it back and forth to make sure that there's no issues and not overheating in the back end. But other than that, thermistor is done. Next thing to do is to do the water pump and also the faucet.
Let's take a look at the refrigerator and see if the thermistor is working like it's supposed to. So let's take a look. And look at here. 31.1 degrees. So the refrigerator is working. So there's no other issue that needs to be done, but let's double check to make sure that there's nothing else going on. So I got my little thermal gun. Coils are still... All right, so that was a great success. So just simply replacing that thermistor was the actual issue of the refrigerator not working, but the freezer was. So if you ever come across an issue with your camp trailer or an RV refrigerator where the fridge isn't working, but the freezer is, it's always good to double check the thermistor that's on in the actual refrigerator, because that most of the times that could be the #1 culprit. Or it can be simply that there's a clogged in the coil vents in your cooling unit. But it's always good to double check your owner's manufacturer troubleshooting guide, because there is some good information on those manuals. They'll say, try this if this is happening. Unfortunately, I don't have the manual for this, but luckily I was able to contact our local RV repair shop, and they were able to look up and see to try the thermistor. And if that doesn't fix the issue, then it's most likely the cooling unit, which that saved me hundreds of dollars, because I really can't afford to replace the refrigerator, because these fridges for these camp trailers are not cheap. And also trying to replace them is going to be a pain in the butt too. So I just do want to thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't checked out our social media platforms, the links to those will be down in the description down below. If you haven't already checked our official merch store, it's at dylans.outdoorgarage.com. Link to that will be down in the description down below. Over there, you can pick up yourself a sweater, t-shirts, hats, beanies, stickers, water bottles, and so much more. All the proceeds from that goes to help support future projects on this channel. And if you don't want to buy anything and just want to do a simple donation, there is a donation link on the website as well that you can donate directly to the channel. If you want to sign up for our newsletter, so whenever new products do come out, you guys will get first notifications of it before it goes live on the website. And thank you so much to those people who have ordered stuff on the website already. Thank you so much. It does help this channel out. And thank you for all you guys being here and have been continuing with me since the beginning of when I came back. So thank you so much, and happy daylight savings. Take care now. Bye-bye.